So you've probably saw the title and thought, what's this guy on about? Logan Paul's ruined Pokemon, not saved it. Well, hear me out. I might just change your mind. So before you give me any hate in the comments or leave a dislike on the video, please don't do that. I'm not talking about scalpers, eBay sellers, people on Facebook Marketplace, bedroom businesses selling stock on their poorly made websites for twice RRP. I'm talking about the cream of the crop of Pokemon, base set first edition boxes, Charizards, well, any other set for that matter, as they've all sort of followed suit. When Logan Paul first announced he'd bought the Pokemon box for $280,000, I think it was, there was people that thought, well, why has he spent that much on Pokemon? If he wasn't already in the hobby, he didn't know the value of it. And if he was already in the hobby, you probably thought, well, I know what's going to happen here. And if you were smart enough, you'd have probably bought or invested in some certain cards or sets before the actual opening of the base set booster box that he bought. And if you followed Pokemon since, you will know that it shot up in popularity. Prices have gone through the roof with vintage Pokemon. And everyone will say, well, Logan Paul caused all the issues, but I don't think he did. I think he saved Pokemon, and I'm going to show you why. So I've been doing some research into the prices of Pokemon over the past, well, I looked as far as I could sort of find really. I sort of looked at what Pokemon cards or Charizards were selling for as of recently. I've been looking at what boxes were selling for. We know obviously a box is worth about $1.2 million as we speak, unless someone comes and blows that out the water again. I can only see it rising. So I thought, well, how can I sort of, monitor it? Because I struggled to find first edition base set boxes that were sold sort of, well, up to 2015 really. I've been using PwC, which I can probably say was the most reliable source in sort of prices over time. It sort of monitors it all, and you can see it all on their website. So if you don't believe what I'm saying, then head over to their website. You just have to register and sign up, and then you can see what I've found. I'm going to put the images on the screen of everything we talk about, so you can also see as well. So, as I said, a first edition base set booster box is now roughly worth $1.2 million. Now, I couldn't see a first edition base set booster box as far back as 2015. I saw a shadowless booster box, non-first edition, and I saw a first edition sort of single packs up for sale. So if we look at the prices of the shadowless box, which is here, we can see that in April 29th of 2018, a shadowless base set booster box sold for $4,802. Now I know that's not sort of reflectable on a first edition base set booster box, but you can sort of see that there's obviously been a massive price increase. One of these boxes now sells for roughly $40,000, $50,000. I know I'm sounding like gurus with all these outlandish prices and sort of the scale or variety of prices, but they're changing all the time. Some are going for more, some are going for less. Now, I couldn't find any further back than 2018, any boxes at all. All I could find was a first edition base set, sort of Charizard pack. The other artworks were there as well. And a first edition Charizard base set Pokemon pack sold for $181 in September 27th of 2015. It had 26 bids, so it's a clear representation of the price. So if we scale it back and we sort of add all the numbers together, you're looking at a first edition base set booster box was costing you no more than $4,000, $4,500, dependent on whether sealed boxes went for cheaper than the 36 packs or went for more because it was sealed and you knew what was going on with regarding heavy and light packs, because it wasn't described as heavy or light, so that's just an average price, I'm guessing. Now, if we look at Charizards, the latest Charizard sale that was on PWC, and this is what I'm basing it off because, you know, eBay, I don't think they're going to have that much value and not very reliable. But the most recent Charizard on PWC, first edition Shadowless, sold for $350,100. $350,100, sorry, and that was on December 12th of 2020, so 3 months ago. So it may have gone up in value. Again, this is all I could find. There may be more auctions coming up, and it might go for a little bit more, especially now we've sort of established the value of a box at 1.2 million, as this was before that was announced, and there was 201 bids. So again, it's a natural value, and we know that people was bidding on it for that price, so it's safe to say we can sort of set it at that price. Again, if we go back to 2018, before Logan Paul had even announced or, you know, showed an interest in Pokemon publicly, because he does say that he enjoyed Pokemon, he's very nostalgic about it, and he's always enjoyed it, and I believe him. You know, I've got no hate for Logan Paul, and I'm not going to judge him on anything that he's done out of Pokemon, because, you know, that's nothing to do with me. I'm not going to challenge his integrity because I don't believe in that. But before all that happened, again, a first edition Shadowless base set Charizard sold for $23,988.88, and that had 49 bids, and that was May 28th, 2018. So in what, 2.5 years, it's times 10 in price, if not more, 15 times value. So we can see that the values have changed massively. And there is a point I'm going to make to this. If we compare Pokemon cards to other trading cards, for example, I know sports cards are very, very popular in America, not so much in the UK, but we are starting to get sort of like football or soccer cards, as we call them, or Americans call them soccer, we call it football. I'm not here for that debate. But if we look at the most recent Tom Brady sale, which was a PSA 10 Playoff Contenders Rookie Card. Now, I know football cards, baseball cards and basketball cards all value on people winning championships, what teams to go to. There's all sorts of different factors to go with sports cards. But if we look, on January 25th of this year, there was 100 bids on this Tom Brady card, and it sold for $555,988. So that's nearly $556,000. So on the scale of it, Pokemon cards aren't the most expensive cards there is. And how does it reflect over time? Because obviously sports cards have had sort of a continuous growth, whereas Pokemon cards sort of peaks up and down, and depending on who's buying them and all that sort of stuff. So if we look at the same card, so we can keep it comparable, in 2018, now you saw that the Charizard value had ridiculously gone up in price from 2018 to 2020. So in February 18th, 2018, they had 72 bids on exactly the same card, a PSA 10 Tom Brady Playoff Contenders card, and it sold for $109,288.00. So that is already 4 times the value of what a comparable sort of Pokemon card in Charizard is. And the reason I'm using Tom Brady as an example is I'm not a fan of sports cards. I'm not very clued up, so I just sort of had a research of what were the most popular sports cards, and I understand he won a playoff this year, or won something this year. So, but again, this is before that. This is before this year, and you can see that in the price. So perhaps that's why it's $556,000. But again, that is the only thing I can compare it to. And if we go back even further to 2016, a PSA 10 same card sold for $30,300, and with a bids of 43. So again, we can compare that on sort of reliable pricing, and that is the same value, or same value roughly, as 10 first edition booster boxes in the Pokemon world. So I couldn't find a choice for a first edition PSA 10 Charizard, but it's not going to be worth 10 booster boxes. And you're probably saying, well, Ben, you can't compare sports cards to Pokemon cards. So I've had a look at the other trading cards games that there is. Now, I've had a look at Yu-Gi-Oh! And I'm a massive Yu-Gi-Oh! Fan as well. So if Logan Paul wants to buy loads of Yu-Gi-Oh! Boxes and blow that up, I have a couple of first edition Blue Eyes White Dragons ready to go. So if you want to do that, Logan, if you're watching, please do. It really help me out. But the most comparable in value for cards and sort of the chase card, or the most valuable card that I found, was Magic the Gathering. And you're probably going to say, well, I know what he's going to say. He's going to pull out the Black Lotus card. But that's what I can compare it to. That's the only thing I know of Magic the Gathering. I'm not a Magic the Gathering player. So if there is a more comparable card that you feel, then let me know in the comment section down below. I can do some research. I'll let you all know. But if we look at a Black Lotus sale, PSA 10, I've been trying to keep the sort of gradings the same. In January 27th of this year, with a number of 123 bids, a Black Lotus Alpha sold for $511,100, which again is nearly, it's not quite double the value of Charizard, but it's 50% on top. If we say 350,000, half of that 175, you're close to the 511,000 that we're at for the Black Lotus card. And again, just to keep it comparable, we look at a Black Lotus. I couldn't find a PSA 10. I could only find a BGS 9.5, so the value will probably be a little bit higher. In 2018, it was 87,672, and that was, what was that in comparable to the Charizard, was 23,000, so nearly 3-4 times the value of a Charizard. So the point I'm trying to make is, and I'm not going to go into any more values of individual cards or boxes. I didn't know what box, or I didn't look into what box the Black Lotus card came from. Is you can see that Pokemon has potentially been undervalued the whole way through. And that's the point that I'm going to make, is Logan Paul hasn't ruined Pokemon. He's saved it in popularity, in value of cards, and just the way that the Pokemon community is. You know, it's a great community. Everyone gets on with each other mostly, unless you're Collectibles Guru. Then I don't think we can blame Logan Paul for everything that's going on in the Pokemon world at the minute. I think we can blame the scalpers, and it's not just Pokemon that it happens. We had the same with the new console releases. It happens all the time in the sneaker or trainer community, and it's actually accepted there. You know, well, maybe not accepted, but it's not like Pokemon world. So yeah, that is the reason why I think that Logan Paul has saved Pokemon. He's brought back the values of the vintage cards. You know, not everyone can go out and buy a first edition base set booster box now, or a first edition Charizard, because, you know, that's the way life is. Things rise in value. If I could have first edition Charizards hanging on the wall, then I would, but I can't. You know, I didn't take the risks when needed, or wasn't in it at the time. But Logan Paul's done this, and I've seen a lot of things where, like I said, everyone's blamed him, and I don't think it's fair. Now, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Has he ruined it? Has he saved it? Or do you agree with me? I'd like to know. And if you did like this video, leave us a thumbs up, and I can continue doing more research into the Pokemon world and where it's heading and where it's been. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I shall see you next week.